Hey, we're back in the kitchen, and today we're doing a super easy pasta recipe. I think you guys are going to really enjoy this, and I have to give credit where credit is due. My good friend, Nikki Valley, otherwise known as Nikki Nibs on Facebook, she posted this recipe and said that she loved it, she was making it, and there she is now. So I unabashedly, I told her I was going to steal it, and I did. And so, Nikki, you're watching, so you have to tell me if I change up anything. But this is a great recipe that calls for roasted fresh garden tomatoes, some olives, which I dearly love, a little white wine, a little garlic, a little oregano, and you finish it up with some Parmesan cheese. And, Nikki, it's good to see you, by the way. So I've got all the ingredients out ready to go. I got the pasta boiling in the water right behind me now, so we're going to get started. I hope everybody's had a great week thus far. Cheers. To you guys. Right now, Nikki, we're just an audience of one, but I love this recipe, and so I'm going to show everybody exactly how to do that. And of course, I'll post the recipe. Nikki gave me kind of broad outlines. I'll estimate the amount of things that you put in, and you can tell me whether it's right or wrong. But we'll try it. We'll figure it out and see if it turns out good or not. It usually does, and this recipe sounds fantastic. So I roasted my tomatoes. I did that just a little bit earlier today. They've actually cooled off. So we've got the roasted tomatoes. We've got these lovely olives. These are Italian olives that I picked, and not that I picked, but I picked from the grocery store. I got a little white wine over here, so we're going to throw that in there. I've got some roasted garlic that I'm going to use. Since we roasted the tomatoes, I thought we'd roast some garlic. I got a little extra. I put oregano on top of the tomatoes when I was roasting. Hello, David. But I'm going to put a little extra in the sauce. I've got my Parmesan for when I'm done. So the first thing I'm going to do is take these tomatoes that they're beautiful. Oh my goodness, they're going to fall right apart. I dressed them with a little olive oil, salt, and pepper. Roasted them off at 350, and now I'm going to chop them up. Oh, this is nice, just like that. That all chopped up. These roasted beautifully. All right, if you're on the East Coast, you might be getting some fresh tomatoes right now. I scored these tomatoes on top just before I roast them, so they're already a little chopped. All right, I've got some I've got some olive oil heating in a pan behind me that we will add these directly to. So we're just going to check. Look how juicy these things are. Wow, beautiful. All right, roasted up. Hello, Judy. Very nice to see you. Just chopping these up. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm preserving that for a moment. Come on over. Let's take a look at what's going on over here by the stove. All right. Tomato in season, in full swing. Good. Yes, indeed. Should be by now. We're into August. You should have a crop going. All right, there you can see the pan. I've got my olive oil a little hot. I'm going to add my roasted garlic, just like that. I roasted that off, chopped it up. We're going to swirl that around a little bit. I don't want to, it's already roasted, so I don't have to do much to it, right? So we're going to do that. Now what I like to do, I've got my garlic. Hello, Richard. Let's see. We're going to add in our white wine. I got about 3/4 of a cup of white wine, and I'm going to let that reduce. All right. We're just going to put it all in there. If you're going to use white wine, might as well use it all, right? So we got that going. And let's see. Oh, Karen's watching. Hi, Karen. Nice to see you. All right, so we're bringing up the temperature. We're going to reduce our white wine. We've got a roasted garlic and olive oil in there. So I just bring that. I'm keeping an eye on my pasta over here because I have to drain that in just a moment. I don't want that to get overcooked. And I'm going to save a little pasta water just in case, although I don't think it's going to need it with how juicy those tomatoes were. All right, so we are reducing our white wine with our olive oil and garlic. I'm just going to let that. Like I said, I put about 3/4 of a cup of white wine in. Nikki, you didn't specify, and the recipe just looks so delicious. I don't think I roasted quite as many tomatoes as you did, so I might be making a little less sauce here. than my friend Nikki, who originated this recipe, or at least handed it off to me. So you can see I got the temperature up on that, and you can see that the white wine is starting to boil off a little bit. Hello, Janice. Nice to see you. So we're going to just reduce this. Oh, yeah, we have a little sizzle on that. And I'm doing this with just some spaghetti tonight. So we'll drain the spaghetti in just a second. Oh, this already smells fantastic. The roasted garlic. Nikki, I decided to do that since we roasted the tomatoes. I thought I would just pair that off with some roasted garlic, give it a quick saute and some hot olive oil, and now we're reducing the white wine. And I'm going to add in my tomatoes and my olives in just a second. And I thought about slicing up the olives, but it seemed like an awful lot of work, so they're whole olives. But one thing I did use in this recipe, I used olives that were not stuffed with anything. You can, of course, you can find olives stuffed with the traditional little bit of red pepper, or you can find olives that are stuffed with garlic or even jalapeno. I decided to get olives that were stuffed with nothing. So they're just pitted green olives because I didn't want to add other flavors to this dish. I like the saltiness of the olives and balance it with the sweetness of the roasted tomato. So we've got that going. Let me check on my pasta. We're getting there with the pasta. May have to pull that in just a second. It looks like it's got still a little bones. All right, you can see how that is coming up to temperature and reducing nicely our garlic and our white wine. All right, so that's going on. Now, I'm trying to save all of this liquid from these tomatoes. I'm going to add in my roasted tomatoes that I've chopped up. And again, as per Nikki's instructions, roasted these with just cut the tops off. I scored them a little bit. And then I roasted them with olive oil, salt, pepper, and oregano on top. So there we go. They're in there. Stir that in and let that white wine continue to reduce. Oh, that's pretty. And it smells so nice. All right, keep the temperature up on that. So, if you're using these nice ripe tomatoes, you're going to get a lot of juice out of them, as I did with these. So, hello, Thomas. Nice to see you. We'll keep the temperature up on that. And while we're doing that, and remember, since we're using olives, you don't have to throw a lot of salt in there, but a little salt and pepper. But the olives bring their own saltiness, those brine cured olives. So I'm going to put a little pepper. And again, I also put a little pepper on top of those tomatoes before I roasted them. So they've got some pepper in there already. I'm going to put a little bit, just a little bit of salt. Just a couple of quick rinds of salt. You can always add more down the road. Since we had oregano on top of the roasting tomatoes, I'm going to add a little bit more. And notice there are no onions, plenty of garlic. I'd say about 3 or 4 cloves of garlic that I put in there. But I like this, both the flavor and the aroma of the oregano. Love it. I'm going to let that thicken up a little bit. And I'm probably going to put a little bit of my pasta water in there, just to add a little bit to that. You might hear the red alert sound. That is my wife texting me. I'm going to have to catch that in a little bit, dear. All right. We got our tomatoes, oregano, garlic, white wine, and olive oil simmering beautifully. Got that going. I'm going to add just a little bit. I'm going to reserve some pasta water that we can add later. Okay, so I got my pasta water ready to go just in case I need it. While those are, my pasta's getting right to the part where we'll take it off. So I'm going to let that continue to simmer. And I'm going to add in our olives. Beautiful green olives. There we go. I love the colors of this dish. I love the flavors. Oh, yeah. Changes the complexion completely. You get a whole different flavor profile when those olives go in. They're beautiful. I tried these. They're really delicious olives. All right. We're going to pull our pasta. While those continue to simmer, Okay, guys, this is starting to look really, really good. There we go. That's beautiful. Now, Nikki, I don't know that you did this, but I'm going to add in just a little bit of our pasta water just to give it a little, thin it out a little bit, and let it cook down, but give it a little more sauciness. And the reason I like to use the pasta water, it brings that starch over from the pasta, so that when we put the pasta back in, the sauce will cling to your noodles properly. So that's why you want to reserve a little bit of your pasta. I only put about a quarter cup in there. Just wanted to enhance the juices that we had going on. So we've got our olives, roasted tomatoes, which is important. And again, you did. Okay, good. All right. When you're roasting these, take the tops off your tomatoes, score them a little bit like that, sprinkle with salt, pepper, olive oil, and a little dusting of oregano. Put them in the oven at 350 and let them go for about 45, 50 minutes. I think I let them go just a little bit longer until you just get a little, you're going to tell when they're done. They're going to be soft all the way through. You might want to get a little crust right on the top, and it's just a beautiful thing. Okay, now everything's simmering. That looks really nice. We're going to cook that down just a little bit. Let those flavors infuse and meld together. I'm going to let that reduce the whole sauce just a little bit. When I threw the white wine in there, I was using a Pinot Grigio. So I think that's probably going to balance nicely with the flavors we're looking at here with the garlic and the saltiness of the olives. It's probably what you're going to want to do. Use a Pinot. I think a Chardonnay is not the right direction to go with that. Okay. I continue to let that cook. You can see the meatiness of these tomatoes in there. Beautiful. All right, we got that going. Now, I'm going to add our pasta in, dredge it through. Okay, whoops. Hold on a second. Got a lot of pasta over here, and I don't want to put it all in right now. Here we go. So I'm going to take my pasta, and I'm going to put it right in the sauce, just like that. Like that. I'm just going to swirl that around until we get it completely coated and mixed. Look at that. Oh, this looks fantastic. Okay, guys. I think we're about ready to try it. I'm going to let that sit in the sauce for just another moment or two. Now, the longest part of this process is roasting your tomatoes. Everything else goes by really quick. Okay. I've got my funky little square pasta bowls. My pasta out. That's a big serving of pasta I made for myself. Okay. Now, this is a dish I'm going to do when my wife and children are not here and they're at a volleyball tournament. Our youngest just made the varsity team at her high school, and she's only a freshman. And school hasn't even started yet. So we think that's pretty impressive. All right, I'm going to get some of those olives. And then I'm going to show you this dish. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Yes. Turn the heat down on that. Come on over here. All right. Liz did talk to me, and the cheese for the salad. So I was at Gelson's, and I got all this stuff, including I'm making a cucumber, tomato, and bell pepper salad, and I got cheese, Italian cheese that's infused with balsamic vinegar that I'm going to put in there. Oh, it's going to be amazing. Okay, guys, now we're going to dress that pasta with a little fresh Parmesan cheese, just like that. And there you go. How good does that look, guys? Doesn't that look gorgeous? Perfect for summer, all of the flavors you love, but the only way to really tell if it's good is to try it. So let's try it. Again, this is courtesy of my friend Nikki. She is tagged if you want to get the original recipe from her. Seriously, my mouth is watering over here. All right, let's grab some of this pasta. Ooh, it's still hot. Mm, 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 mm. Get that with an olive. Oh, right there. Oh, I'm telling you guys, that is delicious. Super easy to do. Again, the longest thing it's going to take you is roasting off your tomatoes. Linda, don't worry, I'm going to post the whole recipe. Welcome. So, oh, those olives are so good. I love this recipe. It marries all the flavors I love. The fresh tomato, the roasted off, it intensifies the sugars in the tomatoes so you get them sweeter. Then you add these nice salty green olives. Really good. I just think that's a perfect summertime dish. White wine gives it a little brightness, and of course you've got the goodness of that roasted garlic in there. So it's a really terrific combination of flavors. Nikki, what a great dish. Thanks for sharing it with me and letting me share it with everyone else. I will post it. I'll double check with Nikki about proportions of ingredients, make sure that you get all the portions right. And I will also post it to my YouTube channel, In the Kitchen with Patrick Evans. Hello, Annette Christie. Cheers. Hope you're doing well. I trust everybody's had a great week so far. It's been a great week for me because I've been off work. Back to work tomorrow on KESQ News Channel 3. I'll see you first thing in the morning. My wife and I ran literally all over Hell's Half Acre. We went to Paso Robles for wine tasting. Went to Big Bear to get the kids from camp. Went from Big Bear back to LA, passing through the desert. And then went from LA to Santa Barbara. Our oldest was doing a little bit of orientation for her first year at UC Santa Barbara. There was more orientation for the parents than us. So it's great to be home. Great to be back in the kitchen cooking for you. I'm enjoying my usual gin and tonic. It's Tanqueray and tonic today. Cheers, everyone. Look for the recipe right here on Facebook. And again, my thanks to Nikki for sharing it with me and all of us. You guys have a great rest of your evening. Be safe. Have a great rest of the week. We'll be back here in the kitchen next week. So we'll look forward to having you back here. It's always nice to cook with friends. Beatrice, hope that you guys are well. I want to see you guys. The Purple Room's opening back up here soon, so we need to go see Debbie Boone. Nikki, have a great night. Thank you. Hello, Roland. My father-in-law and mother-in-law, Danuta, are watching. Cheers, guys. Thanks, guys. Make this dish. You're going to love it. If you got an olive lover in the family, they're going to particularly enjoy it. I'll be clean shaven by tomorrow, I promise. Have a great rest of your night.